Hello there, Year 8. This is Mr. Dunn, and I'm just going to put together a quick video to show you guys how to log into Education Perfect, because that's going to be the main way that we're going to be getting work to you while we're in the current situation with most of us not being able to be physically present at the school. So the easiest way to get started is to just do a Google search. So I'm going to do a search for Education Perfect. So here we go. It's my first result. Click on that and that will bring up their login page. So the login page looks like this. Now there is another page you might get to first where there's a button saying, click on it to log in. Just do that. Now you've got your username here and your password. So your username is simply CHHS for Coffs Harbour High School. Then it's your first name followed by your last name. So I've done up an example guy whose name is John Student. So it's CHHS, first name, last name. Now, please be careful because there's no dot here, okay? So this is not the same as your DET login. There's no dot between your names. If you've normally got a number after your name with your DET login, there's also no number here. So it's just your first name and your last name. If you've got a hyphenated surname, then there is a hyphen in your name. So if this was John Student Smith, you put the hyphen in, right? But that's the only type of punctuation you've got. So for most of you, it's just CHHS, first name, last name, no dot, no number. Your password, when you first log in, is just the same as your first name. So for this guy, it's just John. All right, so CHHS, first name, last name, your password is your first name. All right, and then you can log in. So you've got an opportunity to add your email address there. You don't need to bother about that. The very first time you log in, you'll be prompted to change your password. Now, it's a good idea to do that because that just helps keep your login safe. If you change your password and then later forget it, you need to let your teacher know through our Google Classroom because we can reset your password back to your first name. So if you change your password and then forget it, just let your teacher know. We can change it back. Anyway, so I'm going to click on Not Now and I'm going to go in. So this is John's homepage. Yours will look similar to this, maybe a little bit different if you don't have any subject selected here yet. You can see here that John's got Chinese and history. We don't have geography there though. So what we're going to have to do, we're going to have to click here where it says add or remove subjects. So I'll click on there and oh look, it says I might be interested in geography. I am, because that's what I want to show you about. You can see there's other stuff down here, but we're going to be focusing on geography today. So I'll select that and I'll click on done. So now you can see in my homepage that I've got Chinese geography and history. So once you're in here, how do you find out what work you've got? Well, if you look at my geography icon here, you can see here it says 1 due later. If I click on that, then that will take me to the work that I have to do. You can also see up here where it says tasks and assessments, there's a red dot there. And as you can see by me hovering the mouse there, it says you have upcoming tasks that you should consider starting. All right, so it doesn't really matter where you click. You can click on geography, it'll take you straight to the geography one. If you go up here, you'll see all of your tasks and assessments because you can see here that John's got a Chinese one due as well. So I'm just going to click on the geography one because that's what we're interested in today. So what we've got now, you can see that we've got one task to do, which is Australia's water resources. So the easiest way to get started is to just click on there and you can see it's due in 11 days. So we've got end of next week to do this. So here is the summary page of what you have to do. You can see that this task should take you about 2 hours to do. So there's a fair bit of work in here. That's why we've given you a couple of weeks to do it. And this is the date that it's due. So it's April 4. And poor old John's 0% of the way into it. If we scroll down a little bit, we can see that there are 9 different things, 9 parts of this activity that we've got to do. We haven't done any of them. You can start anywhere. It's a good idea to start at number 1 and work your way through, but if you really didn't want to do that, you could start at number 5 or whatever. It doesn't matter where you start as long as you do it. I'm going to start at the introduction though. So I click on the introduction and it loads up another summary page. So this tells us what's coming up. So where you've got a little eye icon, that's going to be a little slideshow, possibly with a video, with some content. Whenever you've got this little checklist thing, that's a section of questions that you need to answer about the content that you've just read. So you can see we've got content, questions, content, questions, content, questions. And then where you see this blue icon with a little pencil in there, that indicates a piece of work where you're going to have to write something or type something on the computer. So you can either click on one of these, basically you can click pretty much wherever to start, or you can go where it says start, either here or down here. All right, so let's start this lesson and I'll show you very quickly what it looks like. So here we are, we're inside. This tells us the title, where we're at. This tells us how far we're through it. You can make it full screen if you'd like to. I prefer to have the little chapters here on the side, but that's just my own personal choice. You don't have to do that. If you don't really feel like reading, this little icon here, it's actually a text reader, so you can actually have your computer read the text to you, which is pretty cool. Anyway, this information one is a series of slides. You can see there's 6 of them. We've got our text there. As soon as you read that and understood it, you click on continue, and you can see we go through to the next slide. And often you've got links where if you click on that link, you get taken somewhere else. I'm now in a different tab, and now we're looking at a map of Australia's rainfall in this one. I'll come back. So essentially, all you've got to do is read through the content, click on the links when they're appropriate, and then once you get to the end, answer the questions on it. So I'm just going to pretend that I've read it. None of you are going to click through this fast because you're actually going to read this very carefully. And we go, you can see, so this is the slide number 5. Yes, we're reading that. Very good. Slide number 6. And now we're done. So over on the left here now, it jumps us through to the questions. Now, if you've read those questions, if you've read the previous information, then you'll be able to answer these questions very easily. If you haven't, you might not do so well. So essentially, you've got a question, it's multiple choice, you click on what you think the answer is. Okay. Which continent is the driest? Well, I have no idea because we haven't read the information, have we? So let's just have a guess and see what happens. Let's say it's South America. We click on submit, and we can see, whoops, we've got a red border there, which means we're wrong, and obviously the correct answer is Antarctica. So you do get some feedback, okay, straight away, and it actually tells you where you've gone wrong. Okay, and all the other sections are very similar to that. Right? You get the information, then you've got to answer questions on it. The ones that are slightly different are these ones here. I'm just going to skip ahead so you can see what it's like. So this is a long answer, right, about seawater desalination. So we've got a little bit of information there, and then a 1 minute 28 second video. So the idea is that we read the information, we watch the video. There's a transcript with all the text from the video if you'd like to read that, and you've got to write a paragraph here. Well, actually 2 paragraphs in this response. So that's basically, you type your answer in there. When it's good, you think it's done, you can self-mark. In this text editor here, you can do all kinds of stuff that you can do in Word. You can change where you've got the text, you can bold it, you can even add hyperlinks if you've got something typed in there. Okay, add a table, do whatever you need to do. All right, and so that's essentially all you need to know to be able to go through there and do this. Now, this is a pretty easy to use, pretty user-friendly program. You can't break it. So we really encourage you to get in there and have a go, because all of this content is aligned precisely to our curriculum. So this, we feel, is the best way for you guys to keep working and doing work that's relevant, that's connected to the syllabus, even though we can't all be in the same building in the school at the moment. Okay, so just remembering your username, CHHS for Coffs Harbour High School. So CHHS, first name, last name, no dot, no number. Your password's your first name. Once you're in, add geography to what you need to the subjects, and you can see here or here that you've got work to work to you. Click on it, takes you into the task. Click on the task, takes you in, gives you a summary. Click on each section, and it gets you in, and you can do the work. And that's really all there is to it. If you've got any questions at all at any stage about this stuff, you can email your classroom teacher directly if you know their email address, or you can always post a question into the Google Classroom that we've got set up. If you are going to post in the Google Classroom, we would ask that you keep it relevant and connected to the work, because everybody from year 8 is enrolled into that Google Classroom. So if people are not being responsible in that space, then it's quickly going to get filled up with people's comments, which is not what we want. We really want to make sure that that's a space where people can work. And I'm sure you guys will do the right thing. So good luck, and hopefully I'll see you all again very soon back at school once things have settled down. Okay, so this is Mr. Dunn checking out. Bye, guys.